Okay, guys, let's start again. So in the morning session, we discussed something about jQuery events. If you have any doubts related to jQuery event, you can ask a question, or if you want to ask a question later, you can write to me and I'll get back to you. Okay. If you have a question, you can raise the question this time, and otherwise I will start the next session. So no questions, so I think I will proceed, and I will start the next topic related to Ajax. You can find on your screen the scenario which I already discussed with you. For example, you are following one cricket match, and maybe you want to get an updated score, and you are trying to connect with your server, and every time you try to connect with your server, the whole page is going to reload, and to overcome that thing, what we can do is we can use another new technology, which is Ajax, and it will help me to asynchronously connect with my web server, and will help me to partially upload my, or you can say partially reload my web page. Okay, so I already played that animation. And what is basically an Ajax? You can see Ajax is a web development technique that is used to create a dynamically interactive applications. And Ajax basically is a combination of three things. Synchronous communication means you are always connected with your server, JavaScript, and XML. So asynchronous communication is the ability of an application to send multiple requests and receive response from the server simultaneously. In the same time, you will send the request and will get the response from the server. We'll use a JavaScript to create a client-side scripting, and we'll use an XML to transfer data from one place to another place. Okay. Example, we have an example of Google Map. We have an example of AccuWeather. We always check the weather from AccuWeather. We have an example of share market, stock exchange. Okay, so let's see now how jQuery helped me to use this technique, Ajax. Whenever I use jQuery, and I want to use this approach of Ajax, I have 4 different methods. The first one is load. I have a get, I have a post, and I have a Ajax method. The working of load. First method is load. As you can find on the screen, it is used to load or fetch data from a server and insert it into the HTML element. Just try to understand. Let's say there is a data in maybe on my server, maybe in one text file, or maybe in one HTML file, and what I want to do is I want to fetch that data from my web server, and I want to put into my HTML element. Maybe I want to bind that in that HTML element, and I want to display on my web page. So I will use a load method. There is a small difference between a load method and a Ajax method. The working is same. Both method will help me to load a data or to fetch a data from the server. The only difference is when I use a Ajax method, I am asynchronously connected with my web server, and it will help me to upload a partial page. Okay. Only the difference which I am saying is, in this case, in the load method I will use, I'm not connected, always not connected with my web server. So when I use a load method here, I have a parameters given on your screen. URL, it means the the information, the content or the page which you want to load. Then we have a data. It is same as the earlier one. It means you want to send some optional content to the maybe the server with the request, and then we have another parameter is a complete. Just think one example that I am trying to send a request to the server, and I hope that server will send a response to me. Okay, but I want to make sure that when I send a request to the server and that server responds back to me, there must be one notification. Okay, so that notification will help me to know that whether whatever process I want to do is that complete or not. Maybe I want to load a web page from the server into my HTML element, whether that complete or not, whether I try to load that page and that page is available on that web server or not. If that web page is not that available on server, and I try to load that page on my HTML element, it will display an error to me. Okay, so for that what I do is I use one function. That function will fire or call whenever the process is complete. Okay, so it is basically an optional parameter, and it will help me to just to get notified that yes, the action is complete, whether the page is fully uploaded or not, or if maybe there is an error. Okay, so just try to understand. There is one example given over here, but I think I will display this example on my desktop, this machine, rather than the PowerPoint, so that you can see the real life example and in the real. Okay, so I will come to my desktop machine now, and just give me a second. I will try to get that example first. All examples, someone send me a request to send these demos. Once I will complete this, I will send. Okay. So I have first example, that is for load. I am trying to explain with the example a load. Okay, before we start to do that, just have a look for my HTML part. In this HTML part, I am trying to use one container and div container. I use one ID for that div1. Inside that div, I am giving a content, just a hi message, and then I am also using one paragraph. And what I want to do is actually I have files. The name of the file is text and the text file. So this is my text.html. This is one text.html file, a separate file, and this HTML file I want to load in my web page using jQuery. And another file name which I was using over here is textfile.txt. It means to say is just to let you understand that I can load a HTML file in my web page, I can load a text file in my web page, I can load another file like maybe an XML file, anything. So yeah, this is my text file and this is my HTML file. These two files I want to load in my web page, and the coding which I am doing over here for this is initially I am writing document.ready function, and then I use a button. Okay, button is element name over there. You can find I want to use a click event. Then after I said I want to load text.html file, and I want to load it at what place? I want to add it into my div tag. So this is my div tag. It means the content will appear here. Okay. Then I want to load a text file.txt, and I want to use it in a p tag. Okay. So this is by default the text which is coming, and when I will click this, you can see these two files are coming inside my web page over here. Now maybe the question which hide my video. Yes, you can see this is my web page, and when I click on this web page, it displays the message from the two different files. The first is from here, and the second is from here. From this place. Okay, now question again which can come in your mind, why I need to do this? What is the requirement? The same thing I can also do with my maybe including, just like include the file. But think that what I am trying to do is when I try to upload these two files, this web page, this web page does not reload again. The only that portion, only the div element and the p element, only these two elements got reload. Otherwise, if I will write something in this page, let's say for example, I will add some other content in this page. We'll display something over here. Sorry. We'll display something over here. We'll display something over here, and we'll try to check this again. This is coming, and I will try to upload. See, the rest of the page does not refresh. I mean, the whole page did not reload. Only the content which I try to upload is inside the div tag and inside the p tag. Okay. Load method, why I'm using here, just to take a content from another site. Sometimes it happens I have a web page, and I want to fetch a data from a server from different files, and I want to club that in a one web page. Okay, when I want to club them in a one web page, I can also do with just to maybe download from the internet and then put it into this page. But the only thing which is new here is just the whole page is not going to reload. It's just a partial page is going to load. Okay, this is the one example. If you have any question regarding this, then please you can ask the question. So what I try to do is I try to load one web page. Okay, I try to load one web page in my web page, but sometimes it may be, for example, I have one file, and from that file I don't want to load the whole content. Maybe I want to load the partial part of that web page in my web page, or partial part of another page into my web page. By using a load method, this is again possible. I will give another example for this so that you can understand it better. Just have a look here. I have another page whose name is text2.html. Text2.html, I have 3 paragraphs. You can see on the screen I have ID, sun and mon and TSU, means Sunday, Monday and Thursday. From this web page, what I want to do is, maybe I want to load only one paragraph in that web page. Okay, so I have another example here. See this page. I will also explain one another thing which I told you earlier, that maybe I want to make sure that whether whatever action I want to perform, I want to load a page, whether it is completed or not, is there any error or not. Okay, so for that I will also explain this time. Before that, just want to display this example to you. Just have a look, and this is my web page. Okay, and in my HTML part, you can see in my HTML I have only one div section, and I want to display one message is hi, and there is one button. Okay, so this is something which is coming in my this web browser, hi, and load file. I clicked on that, and when I clicked on that, you are getting a message here on my alert box, whatever is written in that that HTML file. Okay, and after that you are getting a message, successfully loaded the content. Okay, and you can see this place, the content is coming over here. Okay, now why these alert boxes are coming, and why the whole page is not coming, you can find over here. In my text2.html, I have these 3 key tags, but when I try to run this program, it just displayed me today is Super Sunday. Okay, so let's try to understand this. My program name is partial load. Please pay attention so that you can understand this. Again, I use a button click event, and the first thing I am writing over here is I want to use ID selector div1, and I said div1.load. Load what? I said load text2.html. So this is the name of the file, text2.html. And what I said is I don't want to load the whole page. I want to load the partial page, and for that I am using the ID in my text2.html file. Every paragraph has an ID, Sunday and Monday and Thursday. So in this HTML page over here, when I said text2.html, after that I use a hash and then SUN. It means I am giving the name of that paragraph ID. So ID is what? Hash SUN. It will display me SUN, whatever is given over here. If I will change the MON, let's see here. And try to reload, so you can see today is Monday. Now coming back to my web page, see this, the second parameter, null. I am passing null. In my syntax, I displayed 3 parameters. First was the name of the file which I want to load. Then was the data. The data which I told you the example that if I want to send data with my request to my server. So for the time being I don't want to send anything, and I just want to keep it null. So I said null. If you will not write anything over here, if you will not write anything over here and you are just writing like this, this is also fine. It will work. Okay. So just to give the clear picture, I was writing this one because in that constructor I showed I displayed 3 different parameters. So if I will not writing anything, it means again null. And when I am using this one, so my jQuery will automatically presume that yes, this is another parameter, which is a third parameter, and I was talking about that function. So this is that function. So function, and then I am saying response dot text. When I am passing this parameter, it means what? When my server will send a response to me, you know, in that web page, in this web page, I have some text, which is a content. Now, this content, my web server will send to my client machine, and with the help of what? With the help of this one, response txt. Okay, so just to let you understand, what I did is over here I give the message alert response text to string. Means from the server, you know, I said I will get something from the server. So what I will get the content which is written in that file. Okay, so that will come to my response.txt. I will delete this because I just wrote this to let you understand. The second is status text. Now status text means what? I said if I will try to load the page, whether this is success or it is a error. It means if my page will load properly, this status text is a success, otherwise it is a error. So you can find I am writing over here, if the status text equals success, then do what? It will give me the message successfully loaded the content. Okay, but if I'm trying to load a page which is maybe not available, or there is an error, he will do what? He will give me a message alert an error occurred. Now what is that message? Okay, and how to display that? You can find that in my function I have another parameter. This is a XHR. In the beginning of this session, when I start to use this, I said whenever I want to use Ajax, when I send a request to the server, it creates an object of XML HTTP request. So this XHR is XML HTTP request object here now. Using the help of this XHR, what I will do is I can get the status of the whatever is the status of this program now. When I try to this upload or try to load that. Now XHR.status, and what is the text of that status? Just try to understand with the example. I will try to run this program and you will get the clear picture. I will run this program. I said clicked. You can see the message is what? Successfully loaded the content. Okay. Then if I will write the name of the file which is not available. Okay. File is not available, and I will try to run this program. Now you can see an error occurred. See here at this place an error occurred. Okay. After that I said XHR status. So what is the status? Not found. Okay. So it meaning to say is what? I want to say that web page is not loaded. Now if I am giving the name of the file which is available, it will do what? It will display the message to me. So any question in this? Yes, please. How many guys are here? 17. Joyce, any question? Yes, Rajiv, do you have a question? Do you understand this? I want to connect with Ravi Kumar. I request Ravi, please use your headphone, okay, so that I can connect with you. Yes, Mr. Ravi, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Dinesh?
Sir, can you explain me again this that load method?
Please speak loudly and come take your this mic closer to your mouth. Hello?
Can you explain me again this?
Yeah. You want that I will explain the load method again.
Yeah, yes.
Just now I explained that in my jQuery, if I want to use the feature of Ajax, that sometimes if I want to upload a page which is on my server, okay, the data is on server, the web page is on server, and I want to include that HTML page or a text page into my HTML element. So means the data is in maybe in a text format in the server, and maybe in a HTML page, and I want to load that in my web page using the jQuery. I will use a load method. It will help me to load the page on my web page, either full page or a partial page. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Puneet.
Sir, the example we have created earlier for loading the small text, I am saying that it will load the whole page.
Yeah.
And then it will going to fetch the content.
Yeah. Because that is coming. That
is not a partial data.
See, what I give you the option here is, I said when I'm using this one, when I use this one over here, because when I use a load method, it may be I want to load what? I want to load the whole file.
The whole file.
Yeah.
Yes.
Further, I filter it by using what?
Okay. Using the div means ID.
Yeah.
So, sir, my question is again that these three parameters are predefined. Means we can add more.
In the function, in this load method, I have these three parameters. You can find in your SD. Three parameters.
No, sir,
First parameter. Yeah, predefined functions. Predefined parameters.
Okay. Fine. So, one question, when the error is occurred, the function will not come. So the load method will again not come.
Yeah, of course, because that time it will terminate. Of course, you can see when I'm writing this, the name of the file which is not available on my server. So it will give me the message that there is an error.
Okay. So means to say, sir, function is an error handler. Means if the function will going to display an error, the load method will not come. That is not.
this method I just use to for my feasibility, so that I can make myself sure that whether the process which I want to do is done or not. If there is an error, then what is an error? Okay, because this function will run after the action which I perform using a load method.
Fine.
Okay, so I tried to find the file whose name was text3 or text4.html, and that page is not available on my server, and I found that there is no answer, that no answer is coming on my page. So how can I make sure that there is an error?
Yes, sir. That is totally clear. But my one thing means if the function response text is not complete, it means the load method will again not complete in the response.
Which response you are talking about? I did not understand your meaning. You are talking about this one?
Error is occurred.
If there is a
function will break, na? Break out of the
because from the back end I will not get nothing.
Okay, fine.
Load method will do his process, but the thing is I am not getting anything from the back side.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine, got it, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Any other person? Any question? There is one new participant. Okay. Hello. Sarfraz, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? I think someone is there or not. I can't see. Someone is there or not? No, maybe that person is not on the chair. 2 persons, please make sure that you are on your chair, okay? If I found that someone is not on the seat, I will mark the attendance, okay, as absent. So, 2 person I found, Sarfraz, and another was Ravita.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am. Yes.
Sir, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You understand this concept of Ajax load method?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving next now. I have another function which is get. I will explain something about this function first, and then I will give the demo. This is one example which just now I explained to you regarding the load method. Now we have another method whose name is get. Why I use a get method? Because maybe I want to fetch the data from a server, okay, and how to get the data? It meaning to say is, let's say for example, I am using a server-side technology now. Maybe I'm using a ASP, or maybe I'm using a PHP, or maybe ASP.NET, or maybe any other server side, maybe ASP MVC. Okay. What I want to do is I want to access one web page on the server, that is a page which is not like a page of HTML, that is a page of maybe any server-side technology like ASP or PHP. So I want that whenever from this page I send a request to that page, whatever is the response written in that web page, that will fetch and will come into my HTML page, and it will display on my web page. Okay, and for that again I have the function get. Parameters are URL. First I will give the name of the URL, the page URL. Then I have a data. Again it is an optional parameter, and if I want to send some maybe information to the server along with the request, I will use that. Callback, just now the example which I gave to you. Okay, the callback function means the function which will execute. Okay, and then I have another parameter is a data type. It refers to the type of the data, such as maybe the XML, JSON or HTML from the server. Just like you can say we use a MIME type, so here I am using a data type, which type of data I want to get, maybe XML, JSON or HTML. Okay, so again it is an optional parameter, but I will use this. Trying to give one example here. I will give example. I will make one web page using ASP, and I will try to get that message, okay, from my ASP page to my HTML page using the help of a get method. See here, I have one example, and in this example I am writing just a simple one-line code for my ASP page. How we can create a ASP page? This is just a simple example. Click on the new file, and over here you can choose the option. We have a different option. If someone want to use PHP, use PHP. I am using a classic ASP page. I will click on this, and then see here, if I will click this, so over here it will ask me to write the name of the ASP file. I already used the file, and the name of the file which I use is demo_test.asp. And in ASP, if I want to write a code, a programming code, so I need to write that in this and this. This is opening and this is the closing for my ASP code. In ASP, response is one object, and this object will send a response from the server to the client. Write is one method which is used to write a message. Okay, so what I am doing is I am trying to give a message. This is some text from an external ASP file. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to call this function demo_test.asp using a jQuery get method. Okay, so see here, if I try to run this page, only I'm not talking about my HTML page, just a demo_test ASP page. I will run this page, and this is the message which you will get on your this page. This is coming because my web metrics already have a web server. Yes, so when I run ASP page, remember, to run an ASP page you need a server. Okay, so in my this web metrics I already have a web server, so I can run this page directly on the this web metrics. If I will try to run this page, let's say for example over here this page is given at this place. I try to run my HTML page from here directly. I can run, but if I try to run the ASP page directly, you can see over here this is ASP page, and if I try to run this, okay, see, I cannot open that page, because for that I must need a web server to run that. So I have a web server here in my this web matrix, so I try to run this page on my browser, so it display me this message. And what I want to do is, whatever, see, this web page is giving me a response. What is the response? This is the response, and I want to fetch this response from my ASP file to my HTML file using a get method of jQuery. So for that, I am coming to my this place. I am using a document.ready, and then I am using a click function, so that I can use a click event on my button. Then you can find over here at this place I am writing dot get, see this place, dot get. No, I want to get what? I said I want to get a demo test.asp, and event handler. Inside that I use a function. Okay, you can see inside that function I pass two parameters. First is data and second is a status. Now on my alert box I want to display the data, so you can see whatever is written inside that ASP, because response.write, and then I was giving a message. That message will come here, and what is the status? Is load successfully or not? Okay, so that message will appear here. Now I will run this program. You can see this is one example of this get demo.html. I click on this and you are getting a message. You can see message is, this is some text from an external ASP file. This is something which was written on that ASP file. And what is the status? Success. So this is how I can fetch data from the web server using a get method. Okay. Moving next, now I am trying to explain another example that is a post method. So please find on the screen what is a post method. It is a method used to make a request to a server to fetch a data. Okay. And is used when the data is large in amount, and sends data in an encrypted form to make the data secure. Okay, so why I use a post method? I want to send a data from my client machine to my server, and then that data my server will receive and send back to me. Okay, you getting my meaning? I will send data from my client machine, server will receive that, and it will send back to me. Okay, let's have an example here again for this. Now please try to find this example. This is again another ASP file I am going to make, and I am trying to declare two variables, first name and the city, and then I am writing fname value equal to request.form. It meaning to say is I will get some data from my client, and when the client will send a data to me, there must be variable with the name of the name. Okay, and another variable name is city, it means client will send data to me, and the variable name in the first case is name, and then second is the city. And after that I said response.write, and I'm trying to display a message response.write there. And in ASP, if I want to concatenate the string, like we use a plus operator in C# or Java, in ASP we use a ampersand here. So dear and then F name, okay, and hope you live well in the city. Okay, so this is my ASP page. I'm coming to my HTML page now. See at this place first what I am trying to do. This is my button. Okay, I want that when I will click on this button, so the event will fire, and I use dot post. It means I want to send the data to which place. I want to send the data to a web page whose name is demo_test_post.asp. So this is the name of my page, demo_test_post.asp. Now, as I said, in my demo.test.post.asp, I will get the data from two variables, name and city. So here you can see inside this, when I post the data from my client machine to a server, I use a variable name, and what is the value? This. I use another variable name, city, and value is what? This. Now I want to post this to the server, and I also want to get data from the server. Okay, post and get. Now here how I can get the data? I am using a function here. Again, I pass two parameter, data and the status, and alert. It will do what? It will display me the data. And what is the data? Data is something which I am writing over here. Dear, and then F name. This F name is something which I am giving over here. So name, this Umesh value will go to this place. This value will store into this place, and it will display me the message, dear Umesh. Okay, and similarly, hope you will live well in the Chandigarh. I will try to run this page. So you can find on your screen, I'm getting a message, dear Umesh, hope you will live well in Chandigarh, and the status is what? Success. So three functions I use basically until now. Load, to load content from the server, whole file I want to upload, or maybe the partial part of the file I want to upload. Then I use a get method. That method I use to fetch the response of the web page from the server. It means server will send one response to me that is inside one web page. I will use a get method. I use a post method because I want to send some data from my client machine to the server, and then I want to get that. Okay, so I send data using the post method, and then I get the value from the server, means then I get a response from the server. So I use these three methods. Now the next method, which is very important and which we use most of the time while I'm using an Ajax. The function name is Ajax itself. This is the name of the function. You can find on the screen. The Ajax method is used to execute the Ajax request, means I will send a request from my client to the server, and that request is Ajax request. This method helps in partial page updation, means I want to update the page, partial page. The partial page update features enable an application to use a less bandwidth because only those part of a web page that have changed or update are sent to the server. Okay, and then what is the syntax? I will say jQuery.ajax. Now what is inside the option? This is a parameter. This is an optional parameter which is a set of key and value pair which configure the AJAX request. Now I'm giving an example of this. So this is last example of AJAX here. Now look at the example here. I have these three files. Look at this first one. I have a list item which displays me the items which I can find in my American cuisines. Okay. I can find pizza, burger, sandwich, bread and muffins. All these are the name of the food which we can find in American restaurants. And Italian restaurants, if I will visit to any Italian restaurant, all these things are the name of the recipes which I can find in my Italian restaurants. Another file I have is that is for a Chinese food. Okay, the Chinese food, whenever you visit to any Chinese restaurant, you can find these foods. Okay, what I want to do is I want to make one web page something like this, and in this web page I have a combo box, you can say. In HTML we call it select. I want to make sure that if someone choose the item from here, my AJAX will help me to load that content from the web server, but partially the whole page will not load. Only the content which I want to change, only that part will reload again. So you can find over here okay, I'm not giving any real life example, like as I said, maybe the example of cricket match, or maybe the example of stock market, because I am not connected with any server and I am not using any server side technology. So for the time being I need to use a function or AJAX, something like this, so that I can understand it. Okay, later if you are creating a web page using, maybe you are using PHP or ASP or any other technology, you can create a program and you can use a jQuery AJAX method over there. Okay, so but I can understand easily that what is happening over here. I am connected with my server. Okay, and whenever I give the request from here that I want to reload this portion of my web page, I can just choose the item from this place and the content will change. Okay, so how this is happening now, I will explain this example in my ajax.demo. In this file, in the beginning over here, what I want to do is I want to extract the value of my select box. When I use this example over here, I must know what is the value which is inside the select box. So coming to my HTML part first, you can find this place. I have created one body tag, and here I am making one option. You can see select box. This place you can see select ID. What is the name of ID? ID name is drop down selector, and then I have a style. Okay, this CSS part. Option value. You can see value is content one, and the text is American. Remember, this is value. Okay, this is value. This is something which will not be visible on your browser. This is the something which will be visible on your browser. So I'm giving the name American. And second option, I'm saying value equal to content 2, and by default I want to select this one, so I said selected. and then I use another option is content. Where I want to display this, I want to display this in my div, and by default I want to display some items, so for that I'm writing a simple HTML coding over here. Coming to my this part and script part, as I said, first I need to find out the value which I will get from my select box. So I'm saying I am trying to use a drop down selector. This is name of the select element here. I said drop down selector dot change event, because when I use a combo box I always use a change event. So in JavaScript or jQuery we use a select element and we use a change event. And I said where option. Now I want to put the value, selected item value into one variable. So I said where option equal to now. After that I'm saying this dot find. So it meaning to say is what? I am trying to use a find function, and I am trying to do what? I am trying to find the option element. Okay, option element. And what thing I want to say? I want to get that option which is selected. So I said option selected, means from my select which option is selected. Okay, so if I select the option, for example, from this web page over here, I select the option is, for example, Italian. So it means in my this space, okay, I will get the value from here is content 2, because over here I am giving the value is content 2. So at this place I will compare the value. Now I said if option equal to content 1, then do what? Ajax. You can see now I am using the function name Ajax. I said Ajax open what? I am using URL first parameter. I said URL is what? Content.html, means open the content.html file. Then message is what? Success. You can see I am giving a success. If it is success, then what? Function result hash content area dot html. It meaning to say is in my web page I must have ID whose name is content area. Now my page name is post demo, and post demo. This is not a post demo, Ajax demo. This is Ajax demo. So here I have a content area, and what I am trying to explain here is URL content.html. If success, then do what? It will add the content inside the content area. And what content? I said I want to display the result. Okay, and what is the result? Result is one parameter which is given over here. So it means I want to display the result on my web page according to what? According to the item I select from my select box. So if option value is content 1, it will display the value of content 1 HTML page, and in case second content dot, and then third content 3 dot HTML. So this is how my Ajax is working here now. Okay. Yes, please, any question? Anyone have a question? Then you please can ask the question. So again, no question. see this example now. This is inside my Food Hub website. This example, the same example which I just explained for my edX, this example I have implemented in my Food Hub website. In a Food Hub website, I have one page that will display the information about my branches, and I have one page named is Find Us. Okay, this page will appear something like this, as you can see on the screen now. Okay, you will get the clear idea that whole page is not being reloaded here. Only the partial part here is being uploaded. So in my program over here, I have created one folder named is data, and inside this I create three different files. You can see some content is written over here, some content is written over here, and some content is written over here. And these three pages are giving me information related to the branches of my Food Hub website. Okay, now when I will run this page, you can find over here, I will choose this. So over here the content changed, and the picture also changed, you can see. So only the partial part of my web page is being reloaded. Whole page is not reloaded, and it will help me to use my website in a faster way as compared to use our simple function just like a load event. Okay, so every time I don't want to reload my page, I want to just update the section which I want to display, and I can use the help of Ajax. Okay, guys, give me the answer. Any questions now you have regarding jQuery Ajax? Because we will cover only these four methods, and when I use jQuery Ajax, it has only these methods, and I already explained all these four methods with practical demos. If you have a question, please ask your question. Deepak Singh. Yes, Deepak, do you have any question? Any questions regarding jQuery Ajax? Yes, Deepak, if you are there, then please give me a response, okay? So you don't have any problem, right? So nobody have a problem. Everyone understand. I want to talk to this Tuhin. Can I connect with this or not?
Some problem is there.
Huh?
Some problem is there with that.
Okay. I also want to connect with Sarfraz Sheikh. Yes, Puneet.
Hello.
Yes, Puneet.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, actually the question is, if the data will change on the server side program, will it get automatically updated on the client side? Means to say without.
Yeah, it depends how you program that program. It depends how you are writing. Let's say, for example, I am making a program for maybe the live cricket score. Okay, and I want to asynchronously connect with my web server, and I want that after every second my web page will update that portion of my web page. Of course, with the help of programming, I can do that. Okay, don't get confused that it depends how you are programming your this web page. Right now I am doing what? I am using a select box, and with the help of that select box I am generating my event. Okay, so it may be that you can generate the event with the time also. So if I'm generating event with the time, I'm saying for every maybe after every 1 second or 2 seconds, this portion of my web page will refresh. So this is how we do in the like the website. We have like a weather, or maybe in the scorecard. If you will just think about your mobile device. If you are using a widget of your weather, he always asks you want to update the weather in 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 30 minutes. So I say I want to update in 30 minutes. So it meaning to say is I'm giving a time to my timer that after 30 minutes please fire the event and update my weather information. Okay, so this is how they program that program. Now it all depends. In this program I just use one select box, and whenever I select any item, so it will help me to get the data from the another page. Joyce is asking that success is a parameter or not. See, it is a message which I will get from my server. This is a response from the server. Whether I will get an error or whether I will get a success message. Whenever I will try to connect with my server, and if I got the response from my server, it have to give the status of that request. Okay, so this is basically a status of that particular request. So status is success. It meaning to say is, okay, you got a message. Okay, whatever you want to do, your action is performed. If your status is error, it means whatever you want to perform that did not accomplished. So you will get an error message. Yes, Joyce, you got my answer? Yeah, any other question, any other person, please ask the questions. If you have any doubts, clear your doubts. If you will ask, maybe I can help you to understand something or to clear the doubts in your mind. Yes, ma'am. Any question do you have?
No, sir. It's clear, sir. Up to that is clear, sir. No doubt.
Not able to hear you. Please speak loudly.
Up to that is clear for you, sir.
Okay. Okay, just give me one direct answer. Do you think that what you learned this this session, it is helpful for you, and you learn something new?
Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, I have no knowledge about Ajax. Now I clearly understand what is the purpose of Ajax and all these things. Thank you so much, sir. You clearly explain all the parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for your information, this Ajax I can use with any other server-side programming also. I can also with PHP. I use with ASP.NET MVC. Okay. I can also use with my. This is my client-side scripting, so I am using with my jQuery.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. There is one guy who is from Durgapur Center. I ask and are not, because I'm not able to connect with you. If you can hear my voice, please drop me a message. So does Sarfraz Sheikh, and there is another person which is Deepak Singh. I want to get response from Deepak Singh and Sarfraz Sheikh and Tuhin and Ravita. Because if I will not get answer from these four guys, I will make your attendance as absent, because I am not getting any response from you. Hello? Yes, can you hear me? Okay. Actually, I'm trying to connect these three people, but I'm not able to get any response from these three. Yes, Suhin, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, then please ask. Okay, if you are, because one time I found that you were not there, I tried to connect with you, and I request you to please be there on your chair, okay, every time. Don't take a walk. Please be seated on your chair, okay? If you are not able to hear my voice, or if you are not able to send your voice, please write down. Okay. Okay. Good. So I want to talk to Rajiv. Yes, Rajiv.
Sukesh,
Yeah.
project, because since we are teaching Ajax in Java also, JSP also, JSP and serverless concept, so I understood
Okay.
it Ajax. No problem with Ajax.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
There is one guy from Jalandhar. He is absent today. Sarfraz is not here. Okay, but so if you have a question, I will repeat again. If you don't have any question, I will move forward. Okay. Another session which I will start Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good morning.
Sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Good morning. Sir, please, can you give the example of Ajax again?
Ajax. Just tell me one thing. You are not in your chair. Are you attending the session or not?
No, sir. No, sir, I'm attending the session from morning. Sir, I'm attending the session from morning.
Okay. I will explain for you once again. Okay. There is nothing very hard. What I am trying to do is something. The contents are given in these 3 separate files. Okay, 3 separate files. And what I want to do is I want to use Ajax. And what I want is I don't want to reload my whole page again and again. What I want to do is I just want to reload the partial part of my web page. And as you can see in this example, the example which I explained just a few minutes ago regarding my this Find Us page over here, you can see on this example. Okay, I have one Food Hub website, and inside this website I am talking about the chains. Food Hub, they have a chain of their restaurants in different places in America, and what I am trying to do is I want that if someone is trying to find the location of that Food Hub branch, he or she can just select it from this place. So when he will select from this place, so the content will come from the another file whose name is maybe the content 1 or content 2 or content 3. Okay, so in this case what is going to happen, that whole page is not going to reload again, only this portion is reloading, only this portion. Okay, because if I will reload the whole page, it increase the traffic. Okay, it increase the traffic of my server. Secondly, I am not always connected with my server. When I use jQuery Ajax method, it means I am always connected with my web server. And whenever I send a request to a web server that I want to update something, so only that portion of that web page will, the particular portion of that web page will update. Okay, so for this I have written the coding, just a simple coding over here in my file. I was trying to first select the value from that select box. Okay, I use the element name select, and because select has a change event, so whenever I will try to change the value of the select, index will change and the value will change. So from this place I am trying to say where option equal to this dot find, it meaning to say is find the element, okay, and who has a option value and whatever is the selected value. So if I will come to this place and from this select box, if I try to choose the value, if I choose maybe the second option or maybe the first option, it has a value, and that value will come to this variable whose name is option. Okay, and then I'm trying to compare that option variable value with the content 1 or the content 2 or the content 3. Okay, and if value is content 1, so what it will do, I said upload the data. You can see upload the data from which file. I said upload the data from the data folder, and data folder has one file whose name is content.html. So this is data folder, and this folder has a file whose name is content.html. After that, I use a success. Okay, and after that I am giving a function over here. I said if it is success, then do what? Over here it will display the content. You can find the method name Ajax and try to find the syntax over here. I will just show the syntax of this method on my PowerPoint. See this place, I have this jQuery Ajax. Okay, and when I use the Ajax method, in this Ajax method I have to write the options, and in this I have a different options. You can see over here in the next PPT you will find over here a message. This option I choose success. Okay, this option I choose success, and it refers to a callback function that is executed if the request succeeds. Okay, so this option I choose. All these are options which I have in my function whose name is Ajax. Okay, so when I call this Ajax method in this program, look at this place. Here you can see I use only two parameters. Okay, first parameter I use is URL. You can find the URL. URL is also one parameter in this one over here.
Yes,
you must find somewhere here URL. This place is URL.
yes, sir.
Okay, so this is required. All other are optional. So I choose this one URL in this example over here. Over here URL is the first parameter, and the second parameter is this. Okay, this is just a mapping. If you remember the mapping, I give the example of event map, and in that event map I just give the name of the event, and then I give the name of the function. So over here I just use the same approach. I use URL as that parameter inside the Ajax function, and the value is this. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Getting my meaning?
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is the end of this session now. We will meet after one more session you have for machine room. Okay, and please perform all activities and exercises provided in the theorem folder, and I will send the demos which I performed. Okay, and then I will start at 3:30 again, and the topic is a new topic, that is a bootstrap. Okay, so we will close, and we will meet at 3:30.